All right, team, so to get started on our beautiful watercolor background for our grateful quotes, you will first need to identify your watercolor palette, your water cup, some paper towel, and of course a brush. For those of you that did not submit a quote, I have watercolor paper that you may use and Sharpies available where you can write your quote down. But for everybody else, to get started, you're first gonna wake up your watercolor palette by dipping your brush in some water and just putting a small amount of water into whatever color you believe you will be using today. This basically just activates the paint so that when you're ready to start, you don't have to do this step 17 times. And then you are ready to begin. So my advice to you would be to get your paper a little bit wet before you even get started by just with a clean brush, wiping some water on your paper. If it has a little bit of color from the water cup, don't worry about it. You'll probably cover that up. So you can see this corner is nice and shiny because of the water. Now I'm gonna dip some colors. I'm just gonna grab a little bit on my brush and start blending them on my paper. You'll notice the different colors I grab because my paper is already wet. It's just going to slowly start bleeding together, creating these really beautiful watercolor effects. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover my entire paper. My advice to you with color choice would be to stick with either warm or cool colors. Warm colors being the red, oranges, and yellows, and the cool colors being purples, blues, and greens. Because if we mix colors that are opposite on the color wheel, we will get brown. For example, if I mix green with red, I would probably get brown. If I mix yellow and blue, I would get brown or yellow and purple. So have fun. Once you are finished, we will put these works on the drying rack. So a couple things I forgot to add before I started my time lapse. Your paper is going to curl because we're putting water on it. So you can just hold it down with a finger, and once we put it on the drying rack, it should be safe to go. If you choose to change out your color, all you need to do is kind of dig your brush into the bottom of your water cup, pat it dry on your paper towel, and then grab another color. And the last thing, if you wanted to create a little bit of texture, you can run your fingers across your work at the very end to create like this sort of splotchy dot effect. But other than that, it is completely up to you. This is your work. You are an individual artist, so make it unique.